Oh, it's live.
We're live, Christina.
Okay, so why don't you guys go ahead and share on your social media network?
I don't know how to do that.
Well, you just stay put. We got you.
Thank you. Hello, champion parents out there. Welcome back to Mommy Talk. As always, we are here to share information and resources to inspire positive parental engagement. And as you know, we're real, relatable, and right on time. I am your host, Dr. Pert, as well as Miss Lisa and Miss April.
Hi.
Come talk to us by email and any of our social media platforms and let us know how we are doing or share your champion parent story. Please remember that tomorrow is election day, so get your souls to the polls. If you are unclear about who to vote for, ask someone and simply visit your local state website. Here in Michigan, we have various avenues, as do other states. Complete candidate guides. So to my champion parents out there, have you ever wondered what your next steps were? How can I figure out what to do next? Well, attention to all educators and innovative ones. Please grab a notepad and take notes while we dive into a discussion on teaching paths and opportunities. We are excited, very excited to have champion parent, champion wife, former educator, cyberbully specialist, business consultant, and all-around fashionista. Everybody welcome Miss Ebony Bagley.
Thank
Hi,
Welcome.
how are you? Good.
Oh, love that introduction.
Yes, and I just want to tell every champion parent out there, look at Miss Bagley. Isn't she beautiful? She's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We're glad that you're here with us.
Yes,
so, Ebony, you are a woman that wears many hats. And so thank you for doing this interview, of course. Now, who is Miss Ebony Bagley? Mrs. Ebony.
Yeah, so that's such a loaded question, right? So first of all, I am a wife. I am a mother. I have 2 children, a 6-year-old and an 11-month-old who will be 1 very soon. And I have worn many different hats, and currently I still am. I am a former teacher. So I taught for over 7 years in Southfield and Hamtramck. And then I then transitioned out of teaching actually into the news business. And that sounds like a quick transition, but there were a lot of steps in between there. But I did transition out of teaching in 2015. And I started working in news around like 2016 towards the end. And I worked, at Local 4, which a lot of people are familiar with in Detroit. I worked at CBS here in Detroit. And then I had my son last year. And I really had to kind of do some soul searching if I still wanted to maintain the kind of hectic pace that the news life, has, and kind of like, not really a reliable schedule. Certain things I just kind of decided that having a newborn again, starting all over, it just wasn't for me. And I'm a person who believes happiness trumps everything for me. So if it's not in alignment with bringing me joy, bringing me harmony, it's not for me at that point. Like I'm cool with it. So, and it's a similar story to why I left teaching too. I had my daughter around that time. But at any rate, I transitioned out. And so, and actually didn't plan on working for a while, but that's a side note. I was going to kind of figure it out. But I ended up taking a position before I even got off of maternity leave with the American Heart Association, which is where I currently work. And I am the communications director for Michigan for the American Heart Association. So here in Metro Detroit. And so, through that position, it's great. I work with all the stations I pretty much worked with here in Metro Detroit, in addition to all the other media partners, really finding media placements for the American Heart and sometimes having to speak on behalf of the organization. And we just do some really great work. So it's really giving me the work-life balance that I was searching for.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
A little bit about me.
It's awesome that you have
for a minute. I'm so sorry. I don't think we're live. I do apologize. And if we are live, I don't see anything.
It say live on Facebook here.
It says it on here, but it's not on the page. I don't see anything.
I see it on the page.
You see it on the page?
I do.
I do
Yeah.
apologize, viewers, because I don't see anything. I wanted to share. Okay. Okay. Well, I just hope people heard that because I you know.
Are we
I
good now?
Yeah, we've been live for 6 minutes. But so I was just saying, Miss Ebony, that it's good that you work with the actual media and have built relationships with them. And now it just seemed like it brought everything together with your current position.
Very full circle. Even earlier today, I had an interview with Channel 4, not obviously a job interview. They were interviewing me about these kind of matters, you know, about teaching and being a mom and everything. And they're, again, I work with them all the time now for the American Heart too. So, you know, it speaks to, you know, to those of you all listening, the importance of those relationships when you are in those opportunities, you know. I think it speaks to a lot of that. You never know.
Oh, it's freezing up.
Oh, hers is freezing up.
Hers is freezing.
Yeah, she froze. That's how I feel like I do with my AT&T. Let me tell you, AT&T just off the hook. You froze a little minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Miss April, can you send that Facebook Live link to my? Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that
Is it on your page, Lisa?
You know what, and I first of all, viewers, if you could see this, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, we are real relatable and right on time. So sometimes things happen. But we are ever so blessed to have Ebony take time out of such a busy schedule. I'm so excited to have you here. But yes, no, Dr. Pert, I do not see it on my page.
I don't see it right now, but
and answer the questions and all that good stuff.
So, Ebony, what is a typical day like for you as a champion parent?
Yeah, you know, I give myself a lot of grace. You know, obviously, you know, now we're dealing with some very difficult times, challenging times. And so, you know, what I have decided that at least keeps me motivated and keeps me with the main thing being the main thing, which is, are my kids healthy? Are they happy? Are they safe? Is just giving myself a lot of grace right now. Every day may not look the same. You know, I'm flexible, but I do have enough order where, you know, certain things are always there, you know, so my daughter knows that even if I don't have all these things for her, she kind of knows where she can go for certain activities, certain do nows. She knows she can work on her piano if she needs to. And so, especially during these times, I think it's important that we try to figure out really what works. And so right now, that's kind of the space I am in terms of what's driving my parenting. And I hope that it's making me a champion parent, but you know, it's been a challenging few months. So
yeah. I hear you saying that you said you like routine, and since you already have those routine and protocols in place, even though the day variate, you already got those routines in place, so your daughter already knows, okay, I can do this, I can do this. So that's important, you know, for you know, routine purposes.
I always say I like have a flexible routine. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a very flexible routine, but it's manageable. You know, as a former teacher, I need a little management, you know, but it's flexible. She's able, if she wants to create one day, she can do that. If she wants to focus on her math, she can do that, or a mixture of all things. So, you know, that's how we are right now for the summer. School year will look different, but right now.
Did I miss something? How many children do you have?
So I have two. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and then I have almost 1-year-old, so an 11-month-old right now, a son.
Okay. Are you done?
Christopher and Chloe.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. Are you done?
Hopefully, but you know, the quarantine is rough on us, Mom. Let me tell you, you know, you got us in this house. Let me free, set me free, you know. So we are gonna keep our fingers crossed. I don't like to say never, but I did plan on just a girl and a boy, you know.
Okay.
That's what I've spoken to that's what I've spoken to existence for my life. But you know, look how things change, right?
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely a blessing. You still got a good mix, a girl and a boy. So that's good. That's good. So, Ebony, what is the inspiration?
sorry to the daily routine for our champion parents. We know that things may not be perfect, but and you will go off course from time to time. So you do have to have a flexible schedule. We make plans all the time, but as a champion parent, it's not going to always go that way, you know. So
it definitely is. Let me tell you about my day. So my sons decided over the weekend. So I have a junior at Michigan State and a senior at Michigan State. So they mentioned to me last year that they want to stay off campus, but it kind of went over. I was like, okay, maybe they still want to stay on campus. So this weekend, they were telling me they wanted to move off campus. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. But they started showing me that money and how much it'd be cheaper for them to stay off campus than on campus. Yeah, so I had to roll to East Lansing real quick, which kind of took me off schedule, but you know, I still was doing something for my kids to move them forward and to make sure they're in proper place where they need to be for in the fall. I mean, well, shoot, in about a month, because they move in August the 23rd. So, you know, our time, you know, it just depends.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, Miss Ebony, what is the inspiration behind what you do today?
Yeah, so you know, right now, I mean, today, like Christina had mentioned in the intro, you know, I do wear many different hats. You know, what motivates me today is trying to serve. I am driven to serve. I'm driven to do something. And I think that any little thing matters. And so, you know, being a communications director for the American Heart does speak to my heart. I lost my father in 2017 to heart disease. And so it was like divine order when I got the opportunity, and the fact that I'd be working here in this market and the fact that they care. You know, this is the first, I will say, one of the very first jobs where they truly put their employees first. And especially during this time, which I know is challenging on all employers and employees, but they have really showed up for us. And so it's really been divine order. So that drive to serve. Also, I'm an internet wellness advocate. I did start off initially as cyberbullying being kind of my focus, but I realized it's overall just internet wellness, because I see problematic behavior, not just in the kids. And my focus quickly got into really working with the parents and changing the parent behavior, which then ends up changing the kid behavior, and getting them to focus on what's the main thing that you're focusing in and prioritizing too. So that's why it turned into more wellness. You know, most of the work that I do now starts with parents addressing and checking their own behaviors online and what they're feeding into. And also that are you working and really connecting with your kids? Are you really being intentional about connecting with your children? And I think that is what, even this time that we're going through right now, you know, a lot of us have realized, you know, we're spending all this time in our homes with our families. We have not been connected like we should be. And, you know, a lot of the strain, and some of us, I've been looking online, I see like, oh my gosh, I have to get out. But that's because we've just not been used to it. We have literally gotten away from that. And this is more how it's supposed to be, you know? And so I'm glad to see people getting back to those connections, getting back to family. I've been talking to my external family more since this all started. You know, this is the most I've talked to them in a very long time. And so, yeah, I think that's really important. So that's one of the things that drives me to do the internet wellness. I also serve on Oakland County Parks Board. I'm a commissioner here on the Oakland County Parks Board. I was appointed to that last year. And so another background, I used to work for 10 years at the Civic Center as a camp counselor, right? Just like not thinking much of it. I started there when I was 15. I did become a camp director eventually when I was in college at Wayne State. And then years later, an opportunity came for me to serve on this board. And that experience, even back then in my 20s and my teens, helped me get this opportunity. So another full circle moment there. So those are some of the things. I'm just driven to serve. I'm just trying to do my part and find my way, you know, in that way.
I really like how you pointed out the internet wellness. I mean, that is such a strong and important word, especially today, you know, with everything that's going on. I don't care what job, you know, what profession you are in, the wellness, that word, it has to echo through all of our minds, because we have to be careful how we relate to people, how we deal with people, again, especially because of now. The wellness checks, you know, I say it all the time, you know, wellness checks, you know, even when school starts back in the fall, although we'll be getting into the curriculum, hope, you know, whether it's face-to-face or online, you know, that the thought of wellness checks has to be, you know, executed with care, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I think it's so important. It's what we had also talked about, I know previously, Lisa, just, you know, for all of us, we all really need, it's almost like we need a mental health week as a country, but I doubt that'll ever happen. But literally, that's what we need. If that's really what people, it can't just be lip service. At some point, we're going to hit a wall and we're going to have to really fix what's happening up here.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and I wanted to add also, even with the talking about family, you say you've been talking to your family more now than ever. And, you know, it's funny how like we all have gotten away from that over the years, because I'm going to tell you, I'll text people with the quickness because I don't want to be on, I'm long-winded. We already know, Ebony, you know that I just interviewed with Ebony last week. So I'm very long-winded. You know, just like somebody will talk me to death, I talk people to death as well. It's whatever. It is what it is. That's my gift. I talk you to death. Amen. But yeah, so just getting back to calling and talking to people versus texting and being purposeful, you know, being intentional. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
How you doing, Miss April?
I was waiting for you to finish. I wasn't sure if you were finished. I cut you off.
I'm done.
Okay. Yeah. So want to give a shout out to Miss Dorothy Morton. Yes, we can see your text.
Hey,
text.
Miss Dorothy.
And we of course love you back.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's our viewer. So Ebony, how does your family fit in with what you do?
So everything. First of all, I want to say, like, for me, you know, as soon as I pretty much, you know, got married and everything to my husband, my family takes precedence. So even my life right now revolves around them. They do come first, you know. Even my job, which I love so much at the American Heart, they've allowed me to have that family balance where I don't feel like I have to really, like, I mean, of course now it's kind of crazy because we all home together, but ideally and usually, there's really like that balance where I don't feel like I'm just like so tired or, you know, stressed or anything like that. I don't get that from this job. So I'm really able to show up and be my full self with my kids. And that's why I think it's so important that like you can have it all. You know, I think people get so caught up, like focused on like, oh, well, I went to school and I did this. But like, if your focus is really happiness and your focus is really, if that's what you're really focused on, and that needs to be the thing that you go after. And I really think if you follow that, you will get to the right place. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight because, again, I always like to tell people there were a lot of steps in between me even leaving teaching and working in news. And you have to want it for yourself. But for me, it was always happiness. And happiness for me is my family happy too? You know, how are the children? You know, it's like an African proverb, but how are the children? And so that's what drives my decisions. Is this good for them? Because if it's good for them, it'll be good for me.
Yeah.
I like that. And I think that's very important that you told our viewers out there. I think one of the things people have to do is stay true to their core values, because I think a lot of times people find themselves in situations where they're passionate about what they do, but then it could be a case where they're in an environment where it's not a good fit for them or it's toxic. And instead of staying in that situation, I think they have to think about, you know, what's true to them. And I think that they have to take the necessary steps. You know, I think some people out there, you know, they end up complaining as opposed to taking the necessary steps. But I think, like you said, you have to do what's best for you. And if happiness is your focus, then take those necessary steps. And like you said, it's not easy, but at the end of the day, if you stay focused and you go through your plan, I think that, you know, you'll feel better about yourself at the end and find happiness.
That's so true. And I love it's so true. I love how you said plan, because, you know, planning is important, right? And I think, you know, I know a lot of people right now are in uncertain times, you know, and I see a lot of people really discouraged, and it saddens me as a person who feels a lot, right? But I would say right now is a good time to really think about those skill sets that we've all acquired, especially, you know, whoever, any profession, honestly, at this point, you've acquired so many skill sets probably on the job and outside of the job, depending on who you are. And I think it's time that we really lean into that and know that there are options available. And a part of my internet wellness too is finding the good in technology, and look at us all working with this technology and how we've all adapted. I think we need to get comfortable with adapting and being open to opportunities during this time and not looking at it. And that's why I kind of got away from critiquing technology, because I did start off kind of in a more critiquing it and critiquing our use, but how can we use this in harmony in our lives? And I think, it's a divine time to connect with groups. There's a group I follow right now on Facebook, Black on the Job, Black Career Changers, so many different groups, and networks that we really can connect to if you are in doubt or uncertain or need a little encouragement. So I think it's great, and it's a divine time.
I agree. And I just want to tell people out there too that there's a lot of opportunity out there, like you said, because Indeed.com, those jobs just keep coming to my email. And I just want to let everybody know that for every 100 job that tells you no, or you don't hear a response back, there are those couple jobs out there that will give you a chance to interview. And I think you shouldn't act on fear. Like you said, think about those skills that you acquire over time and just go ahead, apply, put yourself out there, because you just never know what is going to happen,
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are fearful. And like Ebony said, you just got to be coming from a happy place, an optimistic place. And like you said, Dr. Perry, just make sure you put yourself out there, not only for Indeed.com, even for entrepreneurial skills. I think right now is a good time to focus on entrepreneurial skills so you can go into business for yourself. Because we got a lot of downtime, and you can be at home and you can just delve into those gifts and talents that you have to see how you can make those work better for your future.
Yes. I want to add also to pay attention to your inner you have an inner love or inner drive or inner spirit, because your support system is everything as well. But, sometimes people, you may not have a support system. You may have somebody that is very strong in your life, but they're very negative because they're fearful. They're fearful. They don't want to fail, and they don't want you to fail. They're going off of their feelings. So you have to really trust. First of all, if the thought came to you, you got to start there and trust it. And then, just work your way up. And I'm saying this because I'm speaking from experience, and I'm not going to get, into it. But you know how sometimes thoughts like, okay, it sounded good in my head, so I let it out. And when you let it out and it doesn't sound good anymore, it's basically because you are letting fear, control, and you gotta step out and do it. Do it.
Yeah, that's very important.
Do it.
Dark over here.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking about fear, Miss Ebony, are you fearful about school? What are your thoughts about school in the fall? Are you fearful about it? I don't know if your kids are doing a hybrid or online, or are they required to report in person? What are your thoughts about school in the fall?
Yeah, I have lots of thoughts, and I do have fear about it, and I do have lots of concerns about it, and yeah, it's a real crazy time right now to be a parent, and especially a parent that's a former teacher. So I totally know what's going on. I have an idea, in terms of what's going on, the miscommunication and all these things, right? But yeah, I'm nervous. I'm fearful. For me, I'm actually have decided I'm going to just stick with the virtual option right now, and keep my daughter home, because for one, she's going into first grade. I don't want this to be her introduction to school, right? Like, I don't want her to think, I just don't want that. That makes me so sad. It's sad enough she didn't get to say a proper goodbye to her teacher at the end of last year. For me, I'm also sad for all the kids that didn't go to prom. That makes me so sad, because I was a kid that actually loved school. I love those milestone moments. And it saddens me that this, on top of everything else too, because we also have racism, right now, on top of everything else that's, it's just out here right now. But, going on, it's just a really sad time. So for me, I'm doing the virtual option. I have decided, I have shared my YouTube, my own channel and everything, just about other opportunities, other solutions for parents. But for my family right now, because I am still concerned about the virus, I know everyone has their comfort level with it, but I'm a little concerned, okay? So I am gonna lean on my village, which are the grandparents, my in-laws, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my mother, to take a few days. That's what I'm hoping for, aiming for in the fall, if they could take or help me out 2 days out of the week, and I can at least be productive 3 days, right? You know, or something like that. That's what I'm looking to do in the fall. And hopefully I can trust that they'll stay on the schedule. I also know they're pretty much in a bubble. So, because I'm a little nervous, some of y'all out here, you know, and that's what it is like for me. Like, so that's what I'm comfortable with right now. And if that changes, I'm nimble, but we're going to see how that works starting out.
It's awesome that you have a village that you can depend on, and your schedule is flexible, and you know you have support in your family to help with your children. And we understand that not everybody is as fortunate. So some people are forced, even though they may still be fearful, to send their kids to school, even if that's an option. Yeah. So, you know, we just need to make sure we be supportive of all parents.
Absolutely. And I actually did a great video. A girlfriend of mine put together a wonderful resource for my pod learning, and just how to like really organize that, or just organize maybe like in my case, using your village, you know, what is she doing over there, you know, and also I think too, I just want to add this before I forget. I want us to get away from like traditional education. I know Lisa gonna be like, what? No, but I really think like this is a great time. Like I'm teaching my kid, like right now we're learning about Kwanzaa, like midsummer, right? Like I'm teaching her those types of principles, like I'm teaching her things that she's not getting in school also. And so I think this is a great opportunity. Like my mom could literally probably talk to her about like Black history. So maybe that'll be her thing, you know, in the fall when school gets started. And so I think it's important that we really are utilizing, I don't know any knitters, but if the grandmas or Nana knitted, I would also encourage those kinds of things. But I loved always the Montessori way, you know, like hands-on, you know, that kind of, so I think this is we have an opportunity right now. And I also want to also say I am sensitive, because I know a lot of people don't have a village. And I will say, leaning into your community. And if you don't have a community, creating one, because Facebook, I know it seems weird, but like connecting with your local moms and seeing what they're doing. And maybe you're not comfortable with maybe part in that way, but maybe you can get ideas and suggestions or resources. I could even find things in my Nextdoor, the little Nextdoor app. Like they're trying to figure things out, right? And then my subdivision, they do have a little network. I'm not really involved, but a lot of moms are. And so I think just using the good in technology too, if you can, and just asking your neighbors at this point. We're at that place. Everybody needs help. Let's all work together.
Yeah. And I agree with you, the hands-on learning, because I say that all the time. When distant learning first began, it was so cute. I saw people, they were setting up little schools and doing assignments with the kids. And I'm sitting there like, that's not what we're doing. You know, my son, you know, from cutting the grass, planting the flowers, doing things around the house and projects, because I'm like, that is another form of learning, because you have to learn how to take care of where you live. That's another form of teaching them about community. Take care of your community. So I applaud you.
Yes. Yeah, so we want to say hi to Katina. Katina says, hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi, Katina. Sing. Hi. We want to hear you sing, Katina.
Yeah, hoping she can bless us with her voice. She probably doesn't sing. Yes. I don't know. Yeah. Yes, hi, Katina. Yeah, so Ebony, so what do you have going on now, and what do you have moving forward? What's next for you?
Yeah, so right now I'm just trying to maintain, y'all. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though. Right now I'm literally working from home, taking care of my kids from my free time, because I don't really go out much. So I did start, since we've been quarantined, a little YouTube channel where I just try to share like advice and talk about things that are important, I think. I say it's like intelligent talk and good vibes. So whatever moves me at the moment. I'm not as scheduled as you ladies. Shout out to y'all, but it's, you know, there. So I just started creating again. That's what I've been doing. I do have some merchandise that I am launching in the fall, coming out. I don't want to share too much about that because I'm kind of like, like keep it close till it's out because we don't know. We're still creating, the sausage is still getting made. But I'm really excited about that. So really, I've just been using this time to kind of get back to reading a lot. I have been reading, like going through some books, y'all, like 3 books a week. Like reading really relaxes me. So it's kind of how I go to sleep because I always fall asleep to a book, but it's how I fall asleep. So just getting back to those things that I had really gotten away from because I really am enjoying, I know a lot of people out and about and I do enjoy a nice meal here and there, but overall, other than the grocery store, I've really been hunkering down and just enjoying this time and just trying to figure things out and get organized around here. But next for me again is the merchandise, working with the schools. I am working right now with different districts and, sharing my advice on different things from internet wellness to now teaching in this transition and things like that. I'm always available via my Facebook page too. You can just reach out to me. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Just staying mission driven right now because it's really needed, I think.
Can you share your Facebook page? And I know I heard you say you had a YouTube page. Can you share that?
So the YouTube is Ebs Knows Best. You can just search Ebs Knows Best. And also if you search Ebs Knows Best on Facebook, that'll pull up the internet wellness advocacy as well. So all of it is Ebs, EBS, Knows Best.
Okay.
Ebs Knows Best.
Yes.
So that's an
okay. So sorry, say it one more time because I think
I'm gonna spell it Ebs like EBS.
Okay.
Because my name is Ebony. Ebs Knows, KNOWS. And then Best, BEST, Ebs Knows Best. And then that's also my Instagram too. Listen, across the board, you can probably just search it and find me, reach out, like, follow, subscribe. I love connecting with people. Oh, and LinkedIn. I want to share that too. People do not understand the power of LinkedIn. I would not have my current job if it wasn't for my LinkedIn. Get your LinkedIn pages together, people. That is where the networking is really happening. It's where I work in communications, connect with directors all the time, always sharing advice. I'm in a whole network with Black communication directors from all over the country. It's the time to really connect and build your communities and use the internet for good.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing up the LinkedIn page because it's so funny because every now and again I get at some type of alert because I haven't been on it. I get some type of alert or where people are endorsing you. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So yes, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I get so many
amazing.
I have to go and check my inbox for LinkedIn. I'm like, okay, yeah. So it is definitely a good network marketing tool.
I mean, that's how I work. I do a lot for my job too as a communications director. I do a lot now because we're in virtual world and just getting specialists and people. I mean, it's amazing what happens once you just dive into LinkedIn, get your page current. It's an awesome place to be.
Yes. Definitely.
Good information share too. Good information.
Yeah, so as we're coming to an end, is there anything, final thoughts you can leave with our champion parents, being a champion parent?
Yeah, I do have a few final thoughts. First of all, I want to say that this is a time where no one has the right answers. No one has the correct answer, and we are all doing the very best that we can. Give yourself grace. There's no right way to do this. So if your way looks different than your girlfriend's way or your friend's way, we're not judging, and I think that's the place we need to be. Let's all figure this out and hopefully let's keep our heads cool and we'll be better on the other side.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, Ebs knows best. Ebs knows best for real. I also mentioned your Facebook group. I don't know if you mentioned that, Sisters with a Vision.
Oh, yes. I also, I love, so again, I wasn't to the kids. I don't know if any children watch, but I used to be a nerd or what they call a nerd. Okay. I love reading. I love history. I love information and the internet. I embrace it. So yes, I have a group, Sisters with Vision on Facebook. I share mostly all Black history. It's for Black people, Black women, sorry, just saying. It's a safe space for us where I'm sharing hopefully information that just kind of gets us thinking, gets us moving. Sometimes it's funny stuff. It's a variety. It's just stuff for the culture, honestly. And I also hope that it's some things that spark some higher level thinking too for all of us, and I'm on a journey, but I like to share what I'm learning on this journey. And so that's what the group is for, in a space where there's not public comment. I used to hate when I would share my own page and I have other people outside of the community sometimes commenting. And so it was important to me to make a private closed space group for us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. So, so yes, Ebony, thank you so much. I know I can say it till the cows come home, but I really appreciate you coming on with us today. I always think about you and what you do, and I listen to you. I listen to the words that you say. You're very knowledgeable, you know, to be such a young sugar, you know, you're very knowledgeable, and I appreciate your genuineness. So, you know, viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Please visit those pages, the YouTube channel that Ebony has, and, you know, take from it what you can get from it, which I would say would be a lot. So
and
again,
vote, guys. Vote.
Yes. Yep. So that was my next. So remember to vote tomorrow, August 4th, in the August 4th elections, AKA the primaries. Those are just as important. Please get out and vote. If you did not do the mail-in ballot, get your mask, get yourself to that, your voting site, and go ahead and vote. You know, encourage your families, complete your census, please. Complete your census. It's not too late. I think there was a deadline at one point. At this point, they're like, listen, still complete your census. So again, vote, complete your census, wear a mask, remember the social distance, and let us continue to work and unite and share as many resources as possible. We have to share. We have to take care of our village. So share as many resources as possible. Don't forget to be good, my people. Uplift someone today, tomorrow, and forever. So thank you, champion parent, again, Ebony Bagley, for your time. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much, y'all, but that's okay, because we real relatable and right on time, and we're going to keep it moving. You have given us a lot. We appreciate you. Viewers, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Continue to check our website at www.mommietalk.com, and we'll see you next time.
See you all.